It's challenging.
This is way more interesting than what I'd learned previously.
There's layers to it.
I think the way that we train now, which is much more authentic.
Week after week, year after year, across the country, a diverse group of people come together for a common purpose. They're treading the same path, but will not end up in the same destination. The journey is long. Few will stay the course to the end. These are the students and instructors of the Bujinkan, a martial arts organisation created by Dr. Masaki Hatsumi.
It's challenging. It's very challenging. You never stop learning.
The tradition comprises of 9 Japanese combat styles. Their origins are said to date back hundreds of years to the age of the samurai. Each member has their own reason for practicing.
Yeah, well, my name's Dave, and my background is I have a degree in environmental biology from Aberystwyth.
Hi, I'm Simon, and I've been training on and off since 1984. I didn't really have much martial arts experience, and I kind of heard about this ninjutsu thing, and at the time in the 80s it was becoming quite popular, so I kind of thought, well, I'll go along and have a look and see what it's all about.
It started out when I was younger, and I played a video game called Tekken 3, and there was a character called Yoshimitsu, and lo and behold, he did ninjutsu. I started trying to find a martial art around Bristol. I went and did Kung Fu, and I remember having a little interview with my then Sifu at the time, and he asked the same question, what made you get into martial arts? And I was like, actually, I wanted to do this one, but there's not really any classes around Bristol, so I wanted to do a martial art, so I ended up doing Kung Fu. And then got into ninjutsu after seeing an advert in Enter Martial Arts.
Well, back in 1987, I think I'd read a couple of books about different martial arts, and one of them featured something called ninjutsu. And I'd seen a few occurrences of ninja in films and comic books, and that kind of intrigued me. So I went along to a class thinking it was going to be about somebody running around with a sword on their back and a black mask on over their face, and it turned out to be something completely different, but something much better.
It's just fascinating. It's a combination of biomechanics and basically achieving whatever your goal is the essence of it, and that's what drew me to it.
The guy I was living with called Dave, he came here for about a year, and he told me about it, and he'd been coming for quite a while, and I can't believe I've waited a year and been missing out for this for so long, So yeah, it's good to be here.
Truthfully, I was like 10 and I wanted to be a ninja, and so I looked into it down in Cambridge, and I found there was a Bujinkan club which specialised in basically went into ninjutsu. So I went along when I was 16, and I just fell in love with it, like straight away.
Well, it's the combination of standing grappling with the more traditional weapons practice and just the idea of keeping an old art alive, and having had some fondness for everything Japanese that just seemed to fit.
Well, it was just a random sort of encounter. I was just looking through the internet and I found the Bujinkan Leeds website at the time, so I just thought I might try it out. This is way more interesting than what I'd learned previously, and so I started to come more frequently and I started to really enjoy it. It was the most enjoyable thing I've ever done as a martial art.
Typical session, we start off with stretches and some rolling, then we go into technical stuff, but there's no real typical class. It does vary depending on who turns up.
I guess the atmosphere is pretty good and relaxed as opposed to some of the other things I've tried before.
A basic kind of warm-up which we do, ukemi, which is rolling and break falling, and then we look at the basic forms of sanshin no kata and kyon happo no kata. These teach you how to move and how to control your own body. And then we look at some more of the formal kata within some of the 9 schools of the Bujinkan, and then we sort of build on those and see how they can be used in real situations.
The curriculum includes locks, strikes and throws. Weak points of the body are attacked, limbs are twisted, balance is broken to destabilise an opponent. Practitioners learn devastating blows and bone-crunching control techniques. Study encompasses an arsenal of weapons. Spears, swords, staffs, daggers and projectiles.
The focus on what is behind the kata I quite enjoy, learning about balance and movement and distance, and actually focusing on those lessons which in previous martial arts I've done always turned out to be an advanced lesson that you would start hearing about 10 years into your training, as opposed to the main focus right from the beginning.
There's layers to it, so it's not just fighting martial art, it's not just doing it to keep fit. There's life aspects in there, and I've seen many different parallels through my goalkeeping coaching for football, something that my girlfriend mentioned in music the other day, and it all ties in to ninjutsu.
Down the line, a slow, uncomfortable truth appears. No one is coming to the rescue with answers.
It's challenging. It's very challenging. You never stop learning.
This is where training stops being interesting and starts being honest.
I mean, it's vastly different in the way that I trained as a beginner. I think the way that we train now, which is much more authentic, in line with the way that it's kind of written and understood. So there's a sense of trying to perfect your practice around authentic movement and real movement, and so there's a real sense that you're learning the kind of art form in a pure sense, which I enjoy, which is vastly different to what we do in the beginning. I remember the kind of first sort of 6-12 months, what we mainly did was a lot of rolling, because I think that's probably all the instructor actually knew.
You continually develop. You may not realise it, but you're continually changing the way you move and the way you think. And I think that's more about what martial arts should be, not just punching and kicking.
Although you think you might got it, you definitely haven't got the technique, so you have to try and just improve and work out where you're going wrong and how you can improve.
It can be quite a long process, but it's still, like I say, I'm always learning, always learn.
I just feel that everything in the last 4 years has helped me improve as a person.
It's given me a real sense of discipline. You know, it's given me friendship and it's given me something to practice which is very different to the other things that I do in my life. So it's kind of enriched my life in ways that would be hard for me to have understood in the beginning. And as I continue with the art, as a student of the art, and I practice the art, it kind of teaches me more and more as well. It teaches you openness and humility, and fitness and friendships. It gives you a lot. It's given me a lot.